Okay. Yesterday I met Guha. He's in Chennai, so meaning Madras. So he wanted to join and he wanted to know about Deathless. It's a very good topic. Before we begin to understand what is Deathless, can anybody say what do you understand by mind? When we say mind should do this, mind should do that, we do it in mind and all that. What is mind? From all of our discussions taken together, what have you understood as mind?
It is the activity of the mind, like
No, my question is what is mind?
chitta in itself, in the sense that um, thought defines the mind. Thoughts defines the mind. Now, thoughts are very, we see thoughts at grosser level, but there are subtler levels of that gross coming up, including all that subtlety of thinking. It defines the mind.
Okay,
The process.
okay, good, nice. Yeah, Anusha, you had raised your hand.
So, from the practical sense of the mind that I understand is this feeling of uh, beingness.
Okay, okay. I was talking about mano. Okay, mind means mano, not chitta. The activity is mano.
No, whatever we call as mind, mano or manas or mind or whatever we call in English or in any language. Yeah,
Because mind is very broad word, and there are variation in Pali, so it applies to everything.
yeah. So, how do you know you have mind? That's the next question. Meaning, how do you know you have mind? Meaning, you are different, mind is different. How do you
So
know you have?
if you use Pali word, I can be more specific. If you say mano or chitta,
No, okay, manas.
how
One
do
minute,
I know?
one
I
minute,
have
one minute, one minute. Guha is calling. I don't know what to do now.
tell him to join. Na? We'll talk.
Yeah, yeah, he's calling from WhatsApp number one. Oh, he wanted by email. Okay. Just a second.
So Anusha, last time what we were discussing is was you were asking on this sentence. So Yavadev Tattatihu Tatha Hoti Vedana Gatam Sanya Gatam Sankara Gatam Vijnana Gatam Te Jamme Anicchato Dukkato Rogato Gato. Something else. In your message you have written. They turn their mind away from those things and apply it to dishes. Okay. Yeah, the same question it was you have been asking, no? That day also.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So now my question was, how do you know you have a mind?
Yeah, as I said, I have mano by activity of thinking.
Wait. You are saying that, give me in Pali. It's manas. Mind is not mano. Mind is manas. The Pali
Then,
word, the Pali
yeah,
word for that is manas.
and mano means
Mano is part of manas, the
okay.
9 stages of.
Yeah,
Hi Guha, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So we just started. I mean, I was telling about you wanted to know about deathless, and we started about understanding death in the first place to understand how to get into deathless.
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, including you, Guha, is we started what is mind, and
Yes.
how do you know you have a mind? That is the question. What tool do you use to find out you have a mind? When you say I have a mind, it means I is different and mind is different. They
Yes.
both cannot be the same.
and my answer is same. The thought and beginning it's up the thoughts. All subtle, all underneath the thought, including that, and thought defines the mind.
That's correct. But how do you know you have a mind?
Because I think, so I exist. That sentence.
Okay. You think you exist. Yes, correct. Okay, good.
What is the difference between is I a thought too?
Yeah, we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, I am separate from thinking. That I am clear. But I am thinking, so mind exists.
But isn't the thinker the thought?
No, thought is not thinker according to me.
So if there's no thought, then there's no thinker actually. Like when you're under anesthesia, there's no thinker and there's no thought. There's no I either.
It can be. Thought is independent. I think so.
This always confuses me as to whether the thinker is the thought. When the thought arises,
Thinker itself also a part of thought group. Thought itself is not one entity. It's a collection of many thoughts. Not only collection of many thoughts, there are sublime thoughts, which is your belief system, but they exist. Like I exist, I am, Sachin. It's also considered as thought.
is
But
I am
it is not a loud thought. But
is I amness the same as I? So we might have to define what is I and what is I amness.
yeah, so according to me, sorry, I itself has layers. Okay, the more you go deeper, it's like the peeling of the banana, right? You keep on removing, and I become thinner and thinner. But at a very gross level for layman, I is a concept which is embedded into the thought group. For example, I feel hungry when I say feeling hungry is a thought, but it also has an I underneath it. It's that I is also conceptual I.
Yeah, that's
But when the meditator is going into depth, there is no thinking. But still I exist. That I is not conceptual I.
so. There are two eyes then.
Many I, not two. All the layers subtle, I becomes thinner
How,
and
how
thinner and
can there
thinner.
be many eyes? There can only be one eye.
Yeah, it's one eye getting fatter and fatter to humans.
So with multiple characteristics, you mean?
I gets added with multiple content into it.
Okay.
Finally, the I is concept.
Okay. And what is I amness? The feeling that I exist.
So, Vilas, should I? Should
No, you go ahead. You're answering very well.
I
Go
may
ahead.
be wrong. I may be wrong.
No, it's okay.
This is very interesting. It's fascinating because this area is.
What you said?
So, what is the difference between I and I amness?
The feeling of I amness and I. Is there any difference? Is what he's asking.
We know that we are.
No,
I know that I
no.
am.
I don't think so much. It is just no. I don't think at deeper level it is difference. But maybe a philosopher may make it different. But practically, when you meditate, things are simpler than philosophy.
The feeling of I exist, is that the I thought?
No,
What is the difference between I feeling of I exist and I amness? Is that the same? Those are my questions.
I exist. I think that day we discussed Nama Rupa, right? Exist and I am. I think exist is Nama Rupa and
Or I am, not I exist, but I am meaning I exist. That's what I meant by I am.
no, exist and I am are different. Okay, I got it. I am is still subtler than I exist because existence itself is grosser in the sense that the concept of the notion of existence, right? Buddha says to exist and not to exist are two extremes. So when you say I exist, you become grosser. And you still can be I without saying exist because you after death also, do you exist? Right? But you are. You don't exist, but you are.
How do you know you are after you die? That's confusing to me.
No, we are taking it hypothetically. We none of us has experientially remembered the
Yes.
death, remembered the death. But all people who are talking about death from that, I can say that there is a continuity, right, between my last birth and this birth.
Did you have a last birth?
No, I don't know. As Buddha said, and I believe in it. So the whole concept why I followed Buddha is because he said this. And this is the theoretically helping me to go to that point. Right? Otherwise, if I would have been there, I need not to follow Buddha if I remember that. Right? Why I follow Buddha is because I forgot that.
So might need to define it clearly as to the I, the multiple I's, I amness, and then transcending I amness.
Yeah, so
What
these
is
will
the
be
confusion?
these will be conceptual only until you experience it. None of us, except Vilas, had experienced it, deathless, right? So when you are in that state, you don't exist, but you are. That's what my point is.
Good.
And this is not experiencing. This is not my experience. I have been there and telling you. I'm concluding based on all the experts who have been there.
But how do you distinguish conceptual frameworks from reality? That's a problem sometimes.
Yeah, conceptual framework philosophers are trying to get it closer and closer, right? The more closer the person is, you will follow.
Nice. Good, Sachin. I very appreciate the way you have answered. It's a very nice philosophical depth questions. You have answered it really good. Okay, so let's understand. So I will take his question and then we'll come back to this mind. What is I? So Ramana Maharshi way of doing I and a Buddha way of doing I. We need to understand both of them. Now, when I say I, where does it lead to? At a gross level, it leads to the five senses, nothing else. It only leads there. If I say I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm tasting, I'm touching, I'm smelling, all of this leads to I. But single eye, now there are five eyes. Okay. And when I see the other person, I see as one, not as five. How? Have you ever observed it? When I say I'm seeing, I'm also tasting, I'm also smelling, I'm also hearing, I'm also touching. But when I see the other person, I see a single. That needs to be observed. So the I is a single frame, no matter what you call it as. And the I has a feeling. How? Because all senses have feeling. There's a feeler. So when I saying the eyes are seeing, there's a feeling of seeing itself. So there is a seer and the seen. So it becomes dual. I am seeing. You remove that seeing, now I am not seeing. I still that seer is there. And this seer, this hearer, this taster, this smeller, this thinker, this toucher is I. Okay. Now we'll go one step back. Okay, this much I understood. So whenever I say I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it is the action, the doer, with an expectation of doing something, gives you that effect that you are doing something. You means as a sense, whichever sense that is. So Sanskrit and Pali uses a beautiful word called ka. Ka means sense. Dukkha means which doesn't give you that sense. Whatever you're expecting it to be. So it becomes dukkha. And sukha, ka is again sense. From whichever sense you are experiencing it is sukha. Let's say I wanted a taste of mango and somebody plucked up the mango. The sight doesn't give me the taste. The smell doesn't give me the taste. The touch of the mango doesn't give me the taste, even though I'm using all these three. So if somebody were to ask at that moment before the mango is cut and the piece is given, weren't you seeing the mango? And the answer is yes, with dukkha. Why? The sense is not able to enjoy that mango. But there is I there, in the I, E-Y-E. Then if a person were to ask, you're smelling, but didn't you eat the mango? Yes, no, I am smelling. Then what happened to I am seeing? That's gone. Replaced by I am smelling. When you're touching the mango, yes, but then the smell is gone and the sight is gone, replaced by the touch. It's single eye. You just remember this. Now you cut the mango and you put in the mouth, and the consciousness brings that taste up to the tongue. And you can say, I am tasting the mango. Now your anxiety is gone of tasting the mango. And hence sukha, that ka, which is tongue, is giving su, good. If it was sour mango, what happens? You don't taste it. Now you'll throw it out. It's a mango. You wanted a mango, but it is dukkha. So, if you go one step back, you see a thing called as mind. It's a thing. It's a insentient thing. Doesn't have any idea. It just takes the input and produces an output. And that is I in its own essence as it stands. So now it takes the 5 inputs, converts that into one single frame, so to say. And because it is connected with consciousness, okay, this is where Ramana Maharshi ends, meaning he says, I am consciousness. And the remaining things are not. So there ends it. But that consciousness is also dependently originated. It is dependent on the condition, and the condition is the 6 senses. If there were no 6 senses, then there won't be any consciousness also.
But
Now,
something,
yeah.
one question I have, Vilasji. Ramana says that he doesn't see forms. There is no other. There is just that one.
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
So, which leads you to a fascinating possibility that he's also reached the same state that the Buddha reached. It's just that he's putting it improperly, equating it to the synthetic consciousness, as you would call it, or the put together consciousness of the I framework, because he says that there are two eyes, and there is the fake eye, he says,
Yes.
and then there's the transcendental eye, or the big self, or the capital S kind of self. Whether they're talking about the same thing is a bigger question. I'll just leave it up in the air. Just
Yeah. So before we come there, we will first solve this small eye. The big eye is a big eye
Yes.
question. The small eye, first we should drop it. So, in the Vedanta way, if we take clay and a pot, gold and the ornament, snake and the rope, these are the three things what is spoken in Vedanta. As an example, any Vedantin will be using these three things. They will not use any other thing. When you look at the ornament are made out of gold. When you look at pots, they are made out of clay. When you look at the rope and a snake, it's ignorance which makes you to think it is a snake while it's a rope. So let's understand in a deeper context. When we see the five senses, through the five senses, it creates a magical illusion that you exist or I exist. And that is a pot. Forgetting that clay is required for the pot. Meaning, the dependent origination is not seen. In Vedanta, there is no dependent origination. But they come to this point where clay is required for pot. So the clay is independent or dependent is a question. Clay is dependent on the pot as far as the pot is dependent on the clay. You got the point. So now, if is the big eye dependent on the small eye, or the small eye dependent on the big eye? As long as I exist, it is going in circle. In the Buddha terminology, it is Nama Rupa and Vijnana, going in circle. So if you were to ask me, who are you? It is only Nama and Rupa. Okay. If you were to push me to the corner and say, who the hell are you? It's no one.
Right.
Now, why? Clay is required for pot. Of all the practices in the world, I can come to non-dual, which means remove the pot, be the clay, or be the gold, forget the ornaments. Now, I think I can do it. No, it is not that easy. It requires abundance effort. Why? My wife is getting killed by some disease or by somebody hitting whatever it is. Can you look at it without reacting to it? That's the pot, actually. No clay out there. Can I do that? If I'm reacting to it, it means I'm in duality. That is small I and big I. Big I is going in the help of the small I. Should it do it? No, it's Sakshi. It's just a witness. It's not doing anything per se. So the consciousness in my wife and the consciousness in me are the same. The thing which is getting hit is the body, not the wife. By disease or by whatever reason. Or she's fallen down, let's say. You lift, but she's not your wife anyway. Can I do that? Sounds unreasonable, but that's a pot. So can I do this? If I take Jivi Jagat Ishvara in the Vedantic way, can I leave Jivi? This is the question which was asked by Vacha to Buddha. Anya Jivi, Anya Sharira. Jivi is one thing, the body is another thing. So, can I let go of the Jivi? No. Can I let go of the Jagat? Try. I can try. I can do my best to try. Yes, I can let go of the wife, husband. All these are concepts. Office, son, daughter, house, playground, Chennai, Bangalore, US, this, that. All these are concepts. With a lot of practice, I can let go of the Jagat. But what about Jivi? Can I drop it? I am the Jivi. So how can I drop it? Try. Okay, now I will become Ishvara. Then I can drop the Jivi. Wow, you are Ishvara then. Yes, I am the one surpassing consciousness. But hey, friend, you have come to a stage of having clay, dropping the pots. As long as clay exists, so the pot can be made. This is the problem of existence. So when Buddha looked at it, it goes to two extremes. One is Sat, one is Asat. One is Sasattavada, Uchchedavada. Sasattavada means always it exists. Uchchedavada means always it doesn't exist. So we want an absolute answer. Am I being there all the time? Sat Chittananda. I am. Because I am. I'm ready to give up everything. I'm ready to give the eyes and the ears and nose and tongue and the body. But when it comes to mind, I am the mind. Clear. So this is so subtle. It's in Vedanta, it is called as Karana Sharira. You cannot break it. You can leave everything, but you can't leave the Karana, the causation itself. How can you let go of the cause? You are the cause. Meaning, you are the one eternal consciousness everywhere, distributed as something. But how can you let it go? So there ends Vedanta. So where Vedanta ends, Buddha begins his journey of going beyond Namarupa. Otherwise, we are stuck in Namarupa or in Vijnana. You understand this. I might leave
So
Namarupa.
I have a question. If I get this right,
Yeah,
the Chula Sunyata and the Mahasunyata suttas, he goes stepwise. It starts with the
gross.
field, yeah, and then he goes to the village, the country, the world, and then infinite space, infinite consciousness, infinite nothingness, and then neither perception
Or
nor
non-perception.
perception. But he's left with the perceiver.
Yes.
Perceiver is still left behind. And at that point, the transcendence happens. At that
Yes.
point,
Yes.
he understands that the perceiver too is ephemeral. The perceiver too is made of the five aggregates, is made of the five six senses, is made of the five elements, and that too will dissolve. And at that minute, a transcendence happens. That there is how does that? I don't want to go. Don't want to prematurely get to that point, but you're getting very close to that. So I just said,
Yeah. So we'll understand. First, we have to understand the mind. That's the reason I asked this question. How do you know you have the mind? That's a primary thing for coming out of the mind. Like in, if you have read Bhagavad Gita, he says, mind is the friend and mind is the foe. Buddha also tells the same thing. Your mind is your own friend and your own enemy.
the beautiful statement, Manayeva Manishyanam Bandha Mokshayo.
Correct.
Through the mind is salvation, through the mind is also bondage.
Yes.
It all comes to the mind.
Correct. So now that being the case, can you tackle consciousness directly? It's like asking, can I tackle with electricity directly? You can't see the electricity at all. In the same way, you can't see the consciousness at all. You can put it in an equipment and see that there is electricity. Or when you try to catch electricity, you have a shock. You have an electrical shock. And so that means through perception, you can make out that there is consciousness, but by direct inference, can you make out consciousness? It's like somebody asking, show me electricity right here, right now. You can show him the generator. You can show him how the electricity is made. You can show him through wires and taking the voltage and all that and saying that, look, this is how the electricity is moving. Hey, no, I want electricity. I need that electric current. Okay, catch it. You will come to know. Got it right? That's a little. Right. But did he see it? No, he made an inference out of it. Right. So what Buddha says in that Chulashunyata Sutta is you have ultimately what remains. What's the stress you're carrying? You means the consciousness is carrying. It's carrying the six senses. It's carrying the Jivitindriya with it. Or Vijnana, basically. So you are ending with that. So then what you need to do is anicca. So we will come to that later. But through this process...
So this is, you could call it the bhava roga, right? The disease of existence. You feel it all the time.
Yes.
You constantly are aware of, impermanence around you, the chaos of the world, the suffering, aging parents, and that brings the reality of your existence right to your doorstep, and that indirectly defines your existence. Your existence is defined by the events that you come into contact with.
That's right. But still, the mind picks it. Can you do something? You means the mind. Can it do something which will transcend itself, its own self? Can it do that? That's the question.
And a fox got a hen house.
Yeah, something like that. Something very strange. It has never done in its life. So can the mind teach itself how to guard? The first question to be asked by ourselves, do you know you have a mind? And if the answer is yes, can you define what is the mind? In terms of Buddha's easy teaching of all of this we have discussed. Can you define what is mind? So, in the Buddha's words, mind is defined as that what perceives and what feels and what prepares or creates a choice and something like that. But it has vijnana, consciousness. It's like electricity in this mobile application. All the apps are working. That's the mind. It can feel, yes. Can it perceive? Yes. Can do both. Can it prepare? Preparation is depending upon the worldly concept. Can it prepare? Yes, it can. Can it make choices? Yes, it can. Can it create volitional action? These are the three things used for sankhara. Yes, it can. So, rupa, form, plus vedana plus sanya plus sankhara within the bracket plus vijnana is what is called as an individual. And if somebody were to ask, forget that, I need what is mind. Mind is vedana, feeling, sanya, perception, sankhara, which is preparation, choice, intention, volition, whatever you want to call, with a conscious, with some conscious way. What is that conscious way?
So what I was saying, thinking is the mind and the subtlety of it.
Yes.
The subtlety at the bottommost part is you feel it.
Yes, you
Once
feel it. Yeah, Anush also said the same thing.
Feeling and perceiving is same thing actually.
Yes.
Coexisting.
Yes.
And you because of Sankara, you create this whole mountain of thinking.
So now let's understand what the mind does and what mind doesn't do. So if you know what mind does, you can look at what the mind doesn't do. So in the Madhupindika Sutta, you have to go detailed into it. So let's say what happens. Let's take one sense, not the eye. We've been talking about eye all the time. Let's take the body. Body is a sense. I had one Ayurvedic student coming last week and she was talking to me. I said, body is a sense. He said, no, 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 uncle, body is not a sense. Is it sensing or not? Twak means skin. Yeah, yeah, it is sense. I said, from your top of your head to the toe of the feet, what is covered?
It's the largest sense organ, actually.
Exactly. Skin is the largest sense organ. One. You cut your part of the body. Below that, again skin. You cut that. Again, what do you get? Skin. Again, cut. You again get skin. It's like onion peeling. The more you cut it off, and since you are a doctor, you know it. As in anatomy, if you look at it, everything comes to what? Solid and liquid. That's it. Either you see it as blood and urine and pus and all that in the body, or you look it as flesh and bones and stuff like that, and nothing else. So basically, if I'm sensing, if I am that I am, mind sensing, is sensing through what? Through the skin. Or in the Buddha's word, it is kaya, collection. Right. Now let's take further. Take this body. For body, you require touch. Okay, wherever. Now I'm touching the chair, and the chair is touching the floor, and the leg is touching the floor, and my hands are touching the armrest, let's say. And this is touch. This many touch parts. Now, when the touch happens, am I not feeling the touch? Yes. What is your feeling? Oh, well, in the leg, I'm having neutral feeling. Why? I'm having neutral feeling. That's it. What do you mean, why? I have neutral feeling. Okay, great. Can you see your back where you're touching? Is it painful or pleasurable? If it gets heated up, it becomes painful. And when it becomes painful, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my posture. Right? Why? It's painful. How it became painful? Heat increased.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a heat increase. What it will do? The elements will start to move. So the Patavi Dhatu or the earth element becomes hard and the water becomes less. The fire element increases. The air element moves, so it becomes tightened. So like this bone in between the air is so much accumulating that it becoming too hard. So now the natural tendency is to get rid of this because it's getting heated up. Once get heated up, you tend to let it loose. So the air will pass away from there and let again the space gets formed. The space gets formed, neutral feeling. So three feelings: pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, and neutral feeling. Great. Now come here. So what he says, kayancha paticcha pottabbecha upajjati kaya vinyanam. Contact between the body and the touch creates conscious feeling. No feeling yet, no perception yet, but there is a conscious. Something gets conscious. What it does, it identifies. It has a it has a discrimination faculty by itself. Consciousness can discriminate. So it knows. I don't have to teach the body this is touch. It knows this is touch. Tinna Sangati Passo. These three is contact. Now the mind starts from the next one. Yam Vedeti Tam Sanjana. So, Passa Pache Vedana. Sorry, I missed it. Passa Pache Vedana. The mind starts from here. So, the mind sense door is open as soon as the body comes in contact with the touch. The feeling creates the mind, whatever we call as mind. Yam sanjanati, yam vedeti tam sanjanati. Whatever one feels, one perceives. I'm feeling pain. I'm feeling pleasure. Wow, so nice. I'm feeling neutral. These three. Yam sanjanati tam vitakketi. Now he starts thinking, oh, where's the pain coming from? Lower back. Oh man, I think I stretched too much. I should have sat very well. Next time around, I will. I think this chair is bad, actually. I'm having. Oh, I forgot. I did not put that lock to this back. It's going back. Now it's good. Okay. Now, if you see, expression in the face changes based upon the feeling and perception, and nobody observes this. If there is a pain, you'll show the pain. If there's pleasure, if there's neutral. You should be able to watch the body language of people. And all of us will be doing it all the time. So you can come to know whether the mind is in pleasure, mind is in pain, mind is in neutral. Anyway, coming back to this. Yam vitakketi, starts thinking. Yam vitakketi tam papancheti. Now starts with proliferation. This is when the mind takes over the body as one existence, as I am. Now, if you ask me, is a feeling of I there? Yes. Is a perception I is there? Yes. Is the preparation or volition or whatever it is called as is there? Yes. Is Vijnana the observer of this? Yes. It doesn't do anything other than watching. Okay. Now, next step. It doesn't end here. Yam papancheti tato nidanam purisa. This person, purisa means this person. Tato nidana, nidana means origin. Based upon what he has proliferated, what story he has made out of it. Purisa, what does he do? Papancha sanya sankha samudacharanti. Meaning he will now explain to himself, oh, this pain happened because of the and that was so good, this was so bad. All of this is happening.
In that explanation, there will be I.
Always I will be there now.
Yeah, Papancha Sanya Sankha. I consider it like a
Yes.
Collection of Sanya.
I think the weather today Bangalore weather is becoming bad. Oh, today is so hot. Oh no, today is so cold. I think, I got a catch here. Man, I'm telling you, I'm becoming old. This, that, all that he's making it. Why? Papancha sanya sankha samudacharanti. Samudaya arising. Samudacharanti. Charanti is to move. He moves along with that. With what? Samudacharanti with kaya vinyanesu pottabbesu. So if you were to ask me what is mind, is this much. That is 1 minute, Aryu. Kayancha potticha pottabbe cha uppajjati kaya vinyanam. That's only consciousness, no mind. Chinna sangati phasso, no mind as yet. Phassa pacha vedana, mind arise, I am here. Okay, the starting of point of the mind and where it ends with papancha sanya sankha. This whole box is mind. This is only with one sense. What about eye? Same. Ear, same. So now it comes to itself. Now let's understand itself, its own self. So when I say self view, its own self, not the self view of the Sotapanna, the self view of Nama Rupa. We are coming into that. So, Aryu, before I give you the chance, I'll finish this. Otherwise, this flow will go away. Sorry about that. Okay. So now, we'll take Manancha, Paticca, Dhamme, Cha, Uppajjati, Manovinyanam. Now, the Dhamma, we have made it as thought. Dhamma is everything, thing. Anything you bring is Dhamma. You bring a thing is Dhamma. Vilas is a thing, Nama. Just a formal name or a nominal form. This is a nominal form, meaning form only in the name. Actually, no form exists like this because it is changing. I had hairs few years ago. Now I don't have hairs. Guha, your hairs are white and you shows wrinkled up. You were not like this 10 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever it is. And when we were children, we never had any one of these bodies and all that, right? So we never had, none of us. Now, yes.
In fact, in all Indian languages, vitakka word is gone, but vichar word is staying.
Yes.
We call it vichar means thinking.
Thinking, yes. So, now we will do, slowly we'll go and understand. So, that body I did it fast, this one I'll do it very slowly. So, manancha, mana, not mano, mana. So, chitta, mano, manasan, hadayan, pandaran, mana ayatanan, mana indriyam, vinyana khanda. So, manancha is the sixth one in the chitta. Got it?
So, one question, important question. What is chitta, what is manas, and what is vijnana?
Wow, superb question. So you come to the basic. Okay. Chitta is pure light. You switch on the light, like what you have put Guha at your home. It cares a damn about what room is. Its job is to light it up. It doesn't matter. Or I will use another easy thing. Electricity.
In his terminology, can we say the big eye is chitta?
No, don't. We will not confuse. Because then it becomes, the big eye is chit, not chitta. Chitta is already one level lower. Sat Chittananda, the chit, one single light stream. Okay. In Guha's home, in here, this light, they both are the same. And in Aryu's home, there is light. Same. That is chitta. It does not care. Pabhasaram idam chitta. Pabhasara means bright light. Bright, just light. Idam chitta. This chitta is shining. Now, it undergoes change. What change? It becomes mano, meaning it can identify. It can identify. What? Chitta can identify itself. Like, who are you? I am the chitta. Wow. Strange. Mano, manasam. It not only identifies, it has an ability to understand whatever it identifies. then if it understands, it knows two things to do: to hold it or let it go. So it whatever it wants, it holds it near Hadayam. Andaram is to expand on that. It makes it actually live. Then mana ayatanam. Mana is that which already has this many things, meaning it can keep it to itself and it can now expand it and create ayatana. Ayatana is fields. It can create field of existence. So mana has its own existence, its own faculty, or you can call it as faculty as in you have a room. You call it as faculty of philosophy. It's a room. No faculty of philosophy, like faculty of chemistry, faculty of physics, faculty of biology. Those are rooms actually. There's no faculty out there. But when you see it, oh, that's a faculty. And the person coming out from there calls himself as I am a faculty. And everybody agrees he's a faculty. But he's a human being. He's not a faculty. No, he's a faculty. He's HOD. What? Even more stupid. What is HOD? He's head of the department. You didn't know that? For me, he looks like an idiot. No. Please take back your word. He is PhD holder. He is a double PhD holder. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, you have to be sorry. That's a faculty. And he's the head of the faculty. This proliferation is in mana ayat. And
So
yes.
where conditioning happens, that's the conditioned.
Yes, the condition starts from here.
Yes.
Now with this condition, it doesn't end there. It becomes mana indriya. By itself, its own indriya. Indriya are two ways of looking. In the definition of indriya is indravanti iti indriya. That which runs behind is indriya. Another way to define indriya is one who is the overlord. Indra is a lord, overlord. So one who supervises is the indriya. So when we say chakku indriya is the one which oversees itself. You don't require a policeman. You can't make food going into the eye. No way. You try. Eye knows only to see. Ear knows only to hear. Nose knows only to smell. They have their own, not faculty. They have their own programmable sense. They know it. Meaning, they are indriya. They are their own master. The body knows touch. You can't make eyes to touch. No. Body will touch. So in that way, when I see mana indriya happen, then comes vi plus jnana, vijnana, not having knowledge of that object itself. Now object is totally changed. It started with chitta, but it went into vijnana. Buddha did not use chitta because during his time people were using chitta. It would have become very confusing. So he used chitta as a mind to explain the whole thing. But he used vijnana. Why? Because it has no ability to understand what it is. It just connects and leaves it. And becomes a khanda, just like a huge trunk of a tree. It becomes itself a huge trunk of piles of information. So what he looked at is the 5 khandas, 5 trees, trunk of the tree. One trunk is the rupa, another trunk is vedana, another trunk is sanya, another trunk is sankhara, the trunk is vijnana. These are piles. They just empty things fallen like leaves and looks like a mountain. Now the upadana is actually upa plus adana. Adana means not to give up. Dana means to give. Adana is I don't want to give. Upa is near. I hold it very near to me. Oh, this is what I want. So upadana khanda means I am grasping all the five trees together. I will not let it go. This is mine. So when we say I am, the first thing is five aggregates. The second thing comes the five senses. The third thing comes the mano itself. The fourth thing is namarupa. And the end is the chitta, which has all of these. And then you let go of it. You means the chitta lets go of itself, which is extinguishment, meaning it just gets extinguished. It doesn't have any fuel to come back. So one second, Sachin, I have to first give it to Aryu before you ask. Okay, now first is chitta, then the mano or manas, mano pubbangama dhamma, mano setta manomaya, that one. Okay, five senses, because this is sense by itself, this indriya. So don't forget this guy. Five senses, and then the five aggregates is what is called as I. So if you ask me, who am I? Getting into the first level will make you sotapan. Why? Because you've understood that it's all these five. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Okay, so you have let go of it. Ah, what a relief. Now you have to deal with only four guys out of the five people. One set is gone. Now the second set, the five indriyas, which has become ayatana. So you have to stop feeding onto it. Otherwise, it keeps on making faculties. Stop. Withdraw. Withdraw. Then you come to the nama rupa. With that vijnana, the chitta, what is there? So I have to understand the nama rupa in its entirety. Now when you ask me, who am I? Vilas, who are you? Nama rupa. Are you sure? Yes. Aren't you the five aggregates? I was. Aren't you the five senses? I was. Because I can withdraw both of them. Now I am in nama rupa. So my answer to who am I is namarupa. Why? Okkantiya sati namarupa. That is, once it takes shape in the womb, wherever it should take shape, namarupa. Without namarupa, there is no salayatana. So now I see here, this namarupa, I, is nothing but the six senses which are here. And that's nothing but the five aggregates what I am seeing outside. So since I don't have the five aggregates of grasping, I can see the internal working now, which is six senses. And the master chef who is preparing this is Namarupa. And the master of master who is creating all of this mess is the Chitta. Right? So if you ask me, then standing there, who are you? Silent. Why? Because Chitta talking to itself is impossible. You can just smile at him. Are you Nibbana? Are you not in Nibbana? Are you dead? Are you alive? Why? Absolute sense doesn't exist now. What are you asking me? Absolutely tell me whether you are alive. Are you dead? Are you mad? Are you a saint? Are you an idiot? Why? If I answer either one of them, it creates all these four now. So, going back and watching the dissolution of everything, is what Nibbana is. Everything else is conditioned. This is unconditioned. You are not conditioning anything from here. It's peace. Why? Let's understand what is peace. Shanti. It's from two words. The anta. Santa. Sa is self. Anta is ending. If the self has ended completely without trace, you should be in Sha Anta. Shanta. Anta.
Now, what would we mean by self? Is this whole conglomerate is a self?
Yeah, the whole thing is self, including the chitta itself. Because the self is there in every chitta. It just comes that I am. The next chitta, I am. Then the next chitta, I am. Why? Because the five aggregates here is having that. So Sakkaya Ditti means Sa plus Kaya plus Ditti. Sa is self, Kaya is collection, Ditti is view. So I treat Rupa as me, the Vedana as me, the Sanya as me. Okay. Yeah.
We say I exist. It is 5 aggregate level.
Yeah, 5 aggregate level. So now I have made it here. Good, excellent, sir. Now can you explain what is mind? Mind is, I have understood, sir. Rupa plus Vedana plus Sanya plus Sankhara bracket for Vijnana. Oh, great. Have you experienced it? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Come one step back, my dear friend, just one step back. You only see ayatanas, nothing else. It's only faculties. There's no one there. Because of faculty, the story is happening. You cut the faculties, no story. If there is no story, chitta is clean, doesn't have anything there. And if there is nothing there, will you be reborn? No. Will you die? No. Will you be reborn and also die? No. Will you exist and doesn't exist? And hence Buddha never answered any of those 10 questions to anyone because it looks absurd. Will you exist? As long as the 5 aggregate exist, I'm going to exist. Ah, excellent. Now come one level below. The 5 aggregates you have given up. Now you're coming here into the ayatana. Will you exist? I say, boss, ayatana is ayatana, just a faculty. Ah, okay. Oh, hold on. Then come back and see what really is happening. How do you see the mind from which it started, which is chitta. So, if I want to see the chitta, how? So, there are two approaches, one by Abhidhamma route and one by the Mahasatipatthana route. Abhidhamma is mathematics. One who is good in mathematics can go into that and analyze 121 chittas, 89 chittas, 52 chittas, and this chitta, that chitta, this way, that way, all that. It's another way to do it is just watch what is coming. Don't react. Like the Vipassana, where Goenkaji teaches, don't worry about the sensation arising on the body. Just watch. Tingling sensation has arrived. Scratching, you want itching sensation. Itching. Yeah, it's there. Hot, hot sensation. Cold sensation. Don't react. If you react, you have missed the chitta. Because kaya itself has a faculty of understanding, pottabba. Now you can choose out of 6 whatever you want. Let's say I want to do the chitta anupassana, investigating on the chitta itself. Oh, beautiful. Don't worry about this vipassana thing of Goenka. Straight away get into this chitta anupassana. So first and foremost, you bring your mind to the chitta level, wherein you can see the light, not the solar powered light, light as in wisdom to see. Okay. Now, when I see, what happens? I have got nothing to do with raga. Saragam va chittam. In the chitta, the raga is arisen. Wow, I can see it. I'm not raga. It has arisen.
I have a quick question for
Yes,
you.
yes.
They have other questions which are pressing, more urgent than mine. But what is the I you're talking about now that's moving through different levels?
This I has moved into 4 levels. So it depends on where it is stopping that level.
So what is that I, which is it like a transport mechanism? Is it
I
insight?
is a conceptual mechanism. Without that, you can't even say what you are, what I am. But unfortunately, the mind, when we call mind, attaches to it, to the concept. See, what we are trying to do is language has the first person, second person, third person. You can't say I'm a 32 part of the body. It looks absurd. Right? I can't say I'm a thought. That also looks absurd. I can't say I'm the sight. That also looks absurd. Adding all of them, using a grammar for communication, we can say I am first person. He is
So it's
second
more
person.
convenience of language.
I think what he's trying to say with us is that the sense of I is getting clarified by
Yes.
this
In
whole
the
thing.
end, there is no I
Why did the I get confused in the first place?
because of
is
concept
chitta.
image.
The purest is chitta, and the more it gets contaminated, next is nama rupa, next is six sense, next is five.
So the I created its own prison and then it's trying to get out of its own prison.
Yes, that's the reason in all religion.
And the prison itself is a fiction.
Yes, there is no prison as such. You are not bound. You think you're bound. Say the nibbana, when we say unbound or unconditioned, is who has conditioned? You have conditioned it yourself. So
That's why in the Diamond Sutra it says there is no one to be liberated. There's no liberation. There's no liberator. There's no individual that needs to be liberated.
yes,
So once you get to that point, you realize the whole thing was a sham.
In fact, liberation is we have created too much valuation to the liberation. Otherwise, it is almost same.
see another thing. Human beings, like I was talking to Ashutosh yesterday, human beings have this great thing that if something is very hard to achieve, it's very good to try. If something is very easy, you will throw it out. If somebody were to say Sotapanna is very easy, you will not do it. If somebody says Sotapanna is it's extremely rare to become a Sotapanna, and now the mind jumps onto it because I want it, the craving. See, ending of craving is Nibbana.
Yes, correct.
Craving for Sotapanna is no Nibbana.
Is also, yes.
And craving for Nibbana itself is no Nibbana.
You know, Ramana puts it, just sorry to interrupt,
Yeah, sure.
but Ramana says you need the thought for liberation. There's a beautiful statement I've read recently. It cannot be, no seeker can find it by seeking. But if there is no seeker, then it can never be found, you know.
Correct.
And so Ramana says, in a funeral pyre, you get the whole pyre burning, and you use one matchstick to get the whole fire burning. He said, finally, the last matchstick is also consumed by the same fire, he says.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, so now I'll give a chance to our Ariu. He was asking, and Sachin also.
I initially had a small question, but as you explained, it became a bigger question. But
Yeah, I also
initially, yeah, you're saying the Kayanja, Paticca, and all that, and Kaya Vinyana, right? And you said at that point there's cognition. I forgot the word to use, but you said there's cognition.
There's no
And
mind.
then there's no mind. Mind hasn't come yet, right? It's Tinan Sangati Passo, and then comes the mind. But that Kaya Vinyana, you said there's already cognition.
Yes, because Vijnana is there. Vijnana cognizes, right? Between two
So
things.
that That cognition is not perception. It's not distinguishing.
No, that is sixth sense has own intelligence. Their own intelligence.
See, Chakunch, like this, if you were to take it. Chakuncha paticha rupecha upajati chakku vinyanam. Leave the other things behind. What do you understand? We make it in English like this. Because of the eye and the sight comes eye consciousness. But what does a consciousness do? Have you ever asked? In the Kajjaniya Sutta, he explains what a consciousness does. What it does. He says, it tastes, it knows. It's a sweet taste, bitter taste, astringent taste, and all of that. So we need to remember what is vijnana. It knows.
Yeah, and these six senses are being developed over years. Human being and all are evolved. That means the six senses are evolved.
Correct.
So even in those sweet, bitter, and all that, that's not perception yet. It just
No, I think
knows.
you are taking it. Then you read Kajjaniya Sutta. Perception, he explains in a different way. The feeling, he explains in a different way. Sankhara also he defines in a different way. The Vijnana, special one, in this sutta especially, he explains what it is. It knows. In fact, in the Mahavedana Sutta, if you say, okay, Vijanati is Vijnana. It knows. Now, if somebody were to ask, what does it know? He says, Sukham Vijanati, Dukkham Vijanati, Adukha Asukham Vijanati. It already knows. You don't have to teach it what it is. What's the point?
Okay, so I guess I can take that, but I guess in this case, the mind comes later as after passa. There's the mind, the feeling, the perception comes. But in the when you explain the chitta becomes vijnana, the sixth you said manancha, that is the mind, right? That seems to come before the vijnana. So I'm a little confused where it comes behind, before.
Don't forget the seventh Vijnana concept that we discussed.
Leave it for time being, Haryu. See, I just wanted to explain how, because he asked me about this mano and all that. Otherwise, that there was no need for me to explain it like that, because it becomes confusing. Yes.
Okay, I have a question. Since Guha is here, the concept of non-dual. Okay, when the person has become non-dual in this body or after death, let's say, can I say the difference what Buddha said, Nibbana and being non-dual is, as somewhere said, that people have a sunny of non-duality, right? But there are many. I forgot that sutta. Numerous, but they feel that they are one. The seventh, I forgot that sutta. So there are so many beings, like in Brahma realm. Let's say there is a Brahma realm in which there are so many Brahmas, but they think it is one Brahma, right? Something like that.
I have to leave now, unfortunately. I have to take care of my mother now. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
I totally enjoyed it, but please send me the recording or the tape so I can get the later part.
Yeah, I will be. It will be uploaded in another few hours.
Beautiful. Thank you, guys. So good to meet every one of you. Okay.
Thank you. Good to meet you.
Bye bye. Yeah, Sachin.
His presence was required because it was for him. Actually, I was talking.
That's okay.
That non-dual, these people, the Hinduism ends with the concept of non-duality, right? Their way of moksha is becoming non-dual, and then you don't take context.
See
That state is like you are still non-dual, but you have still potentiality of coming back that we were discussing at that time. So I'm trying to emphasize that.
Correct, I understand. So the only difference between non-dual and Buddha teaching is in that Vijnanam, Anidasanam, Anantam, Sabbato Pabam. If you really experience that, it is Buddha teaching. If you come one level below that, it is non-dual.
So you have become non-dual, but you still have potentiality to come back. That's what Buddha said.
Yes. If you keep, like when he learned the 8th jhana from Uddaka Ramaputta or Uddalaka Maharshi, he knew it that there is a potentiality coming back. What do you mean by potentiality coming back? When you
And one more thing, mostly people they don't understand of coming back is because when they say non-dual, it is one only, right? The God. How can he come back into many? Right? So when I'm one, there is a question of coming back. But yes, it is coming back because you are one, many, but one.
Yes. So the it's like a mirror of 20 kilometers long, let's say, pulled in air and dropped on the ground, and each piece representing one person,
Exactly.
right? So I can say all added together is one single mirror, but
In Bhakti Marg, they say, I am merged into God.
yes,
So when I'm merged into God, how can I come back? That's the right way of asking.
yes. So the Brahman, what is the ultimate, is the mirror. As long as the mirror is intact, there's no coming back into any realm of existence because it is asankhya, meaning you can't say when it is going to fall down. But whenever it falls down, it breaks into 100 pieces. Now, as long as there is a potentiality of breaking, it will eventually exist. Even though I've removed the Nama and Rupa from there, this reflection is there. Sorry, reflective surface is there.
Ocean is the right thing. Ocean has so millions of droplets,
Correct.
and there is a potentiality of each droplets coming back.
Yes. Yes. Ocean, sea merging with the ocean. Even though there is a merging of the sea into the ocean, but ocean itself is part of the sea. So whenever the right opportunity comes, the waves are going to come. And each,
And the coming back is self-evident because we're here. So
yes, we are here.
it-
So now each wave has water, and each water is the water, which is the ocean. So in that way, the ocean is the water itself, or the droplets of the water. But the droplet of water need not have to merge with the ocean because it is defilement.
He has a good point. He has a good point. Because we are here, that's the biggest proof that we are coming. We came back.
Yeah, we came back.
We have not arrived from Earth.
Yes,
We came back.
we came back. Okay, so this is so what is deathless then? We started with deathless. What is deathless?
Yeah, we have gone beyond deathless. No? Five aggregates are gone, six sense are gone. This is the typical death that people talk about.
Yeah. So the deathless is that not having any fear for life is the deathless. No fear. How? The defilements are the fear. When there are no defilements, there's no fear. Yeah, Bhai Sutta last part. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so shall we end then? All right. Good day to everyone, and good night to you, and very early evening to Anusha. She is closing, and you are it's like this. He and you, Wellington, Auckland and California. I think it's 18 hours. 18 hours time gap. You are 18 hours behind them. They're already in their evenings because Bangalore and Auckland is 6.5 hours. So it's like 10 o'clock means like already in the late afternoon. And you're still at 9:10 p.m.
I think by joining this Dhamma group, we can see time is a concept.
Yeah, time is 100% a concept. There's nothing like that. You just have to conceptualize and say that here this is late. This is where the mind picks it up. The mind, whatever we spoke about the mind. Okay, so good discussion today. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Take care, guys.
Yeah, thank you.